No, he's somewhere. No, he's not here.
Donna, you ready? Okay. Okay, we'd like to reconvene to public session at 7:01 p.m. And if we would stand, salute the flag, followed by a moment of silence, please. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag. That's the United States of America. To the republic, stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Okay, recommend approving tonight's agenda as submitted.
So moved.
First, Mrs. Isler.
Second.
Second, Mrs. Pugh. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler.
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh.
Approved.
Mr. Nichols.
Approved.
And Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. Recommend the approval of the minutes of the Board of Education regular meeting of May 13th, 2026. First, Mrs. Pugh.
Second.
Second, Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Pugh. Mr. Nichols.
Approved.
Mrs. Isler.
Approved.
And Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. Recognition of guests, Dr. Larimore.
Good evening, everybody.
Evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Fine.
Before we have, stay with me, Donna, stay with me. Before we have our guests introduced and brought up to the podium, we're going to start things off a little different tonight. 14 years ago, Linda Hitchens became a board of education member here at the Laurel School District. And before she even ran for that, she actually came to board meetings because it's such a great thing to do. She came every month for 2 years. She even ran.
Three.
Say,
Three.
whatever I said, I didn't know I was going to get recognized. But that's Linda. She's firmly there. And we have some things for her. But before we do that, I just want to say that as a superintendent, you know, we help for a board president that I've had, and Linda, people really believe in you. When somebody challenges you, when you need to be challenged, but moreover, you need somebody that will support you when it matters most. And Linda, you've been that for me, you've been that for Laurel School District, and we're going to miss you. We're going to miss you.
Jan is already making bets I'm going to run again. Never say never, right?
No.
Linda, on behalf of Laurel School District, we thank you with distinguished service. Thank you, Linda Hitchens, for your outstanding performance and exceptional commitment to Laurel School District for 14 years of service. Have the board come up and take some pictures. So we don't having a bunch of pictures. Do we have any administrators and son and Tim Hughes would like to join? If you would like to join, please come up. Not gonna get a Polaroid. Yeah. Do we want to move over? Good to be here tonight. I was just came from Dover, and that's why I feel a little overdressed for the occasion. But I just want to say to Linda, kind of our journey goes back a few years, and we started meeting about some concern that we had. It's just concerned citizens in the Laurel School District. And Linda kind of came out of that group. I'm just thinking, I was telling Donna, a lot of the people that were part of that group are no longer alive. And so I just want to say, first of all, congratulations on 14 years. Probably more importantly, thank you for what you've done. Because Dr. Larimore shared, for 3 years you came, you sat in school board meetings in the old building. Old building. Yeah. No, I'm talking about 74 building. Yeah. But you sat there for 3 years and just wanting to see the school district on a different trajectory. And for 3 years, you sat there, you took notice, and you waited for your time, and you ran for office. And just a couple of weeks ago, I was working out of my shed in the backyard. And if there's somebody that runs for office that I really support and appreciate, I keep their sign. And I just want you to know that I still have here Linda Hitchens for a school board. Well, I did what's in it. And also I had Good Flea and Bob Menopause. So you're in good company. But on behalf of the House of Representatives, I just want to say congratulations and thank you for 14 years serving as a school board member, serving in leadership and many of those years. And what an impact that you really had made on students, on teachers, and on the staff. Because deep down the side of it, you really cared. And anytime I had a question, you would answer the phone, whatever time it was. And I've appreciated the relationship that we've had, but I appreciate more the just the dedication that you've had to the school district. And I hope there's more litigation to come along in the future to represent this district. But thank you.
Something I thought of the other night, sitting, he used to attend a meeting. This went on all the way back to point here. And you can home out the country. And I would sit there. I'll never forget the comment at him that he made. And I would be an awesome poker player. But we did get a lot accomplished in the meetings. And like Dr. Nairmore said, I attended meetings. And there's one thing about it I have to say. Our meetings started, maybe a half a dozen have gone 7:05, 7:06 start. But in all these years, 14 years, we started on time. I made, I guess, a promise to myself that we wouldn't be here that night. Some of you probably remember back in those, let's see what would that have been, 16, 17 years ago, we were sitting in a meeting under old leadership, 11 o'clock at night. They would go into an executive session halfway through the meeting. But then I knew something was going to be good when they came out, so I never laughed. And there's even some, Susan, you probably remember, Brent, you know, we were getting up at midnight. And I thought that would not happen on my watch. We would get in here, we would get done, because everybody that's sitting here has worked all day. And they don't want to sit here, that late. A lot of great things has happened in our districts that I've been, on board, goals, change in leadership. A couple of times was a struggle. Arbitration, we were in arbitration with the union. That was a tough time. And I remember going to a meeting and you might have 20 people that designed it and see what was happening. And another board member that's not on the board anymore said to me, whether if they repeat the same thing, don't let them talk. And I said, no. I said, we're sitting here, did that. If we're sitting here at 1 o'clock in the morning, everybody's going to say what we need to say. And so they did. They did. Dr. Nairmore and I were 200 times. We haven't gotten along. I think we know well enough that I say to him what I want to say to him. Respect, of course, privately, of course. But done good. To the rest of the board, good luck. And as I said, Sabrina said Sabrina is next year, and she even said if I wanted to run, that I could. And we'll see. I just feel I need a break. That's I'll be watching the meetings, and I'll be reading everything there is, going on in the district. That's it.
I know Linda wants all of you guys to get home as soon as possible, but for anybody who would like dessert after the meeting on this side, we have some dessert for everybody. So
Dessert?
we'd be honored if you would. We do. Don't we, Kim? Yeah, we do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how about one more round of applause for Linda Hitchell? All right, we have some great news coming out of Laurel Intermediate School. Join me in welcoming Gina Voges.
Good evening, everyone. So tonight I'm so excited to recognize an outstanding student, an outgoing sixth grader at Laurel Intermediate School, Luke Massey. Luke has been selected to represent Laurel Intermediate School in the 2026 NBA Math Hoops Global Championship. So he is one of 28 students who were selected out of 200 that applied. It's funded by Learn Fresh, the WNBA, and the NBA, and will be held in New York City. I believe they leave next week. And this is a prestigious event that's actually, Luke won't be playing basketball. He will be playing a basketball board game. NBA Math Hoops combines basketball, mathematics, and critical thinking using real NBA and WNBA player statistics. The competition begins by drafting a team of NBA players using real statistics, and then the game board is designed to resemble a basketball court, which Luke will show you in a little bit, where students earn possessions by solving math problems and then use player statistics to determine the likelihood of making shots from different areas of the court. And then throughout the tournament, students use those statistics to make strategic decisions, calculate probabilities, and determine the best scoring opportunities. So as an added highlight, Luke gets to attend the NBA draft while he's there. So congratulations, Luke. And I want to thank Ms. Tasha Esham, who actually brought the program to us. And Luke, she just wanted you to know that she is so proud of you, your dedication. He even downloaded the app at home. He's been practicing at home. As long as I've known Luke, he's been passionate with basketball. I know he loves a good math challenge too. So please join me in congratulating Luke Massey.
So, before I say anything, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me this opportunity to be able to do this. But what I'm here to do, doing a board game where I basically have to I have to roll a dice to get numbers, and I have to add them, subtract them, and multiply them, and then divide them. Now, if you're not comfortable with dividing like odd numbers like 9 and 6, then you don't have to do it. But I would put it on the board like certain number. If I'm on the odd side, then I can only use the odd numbers. If I can only use if I'm on the odd side, I can only use the even numbers. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, they're gonna be flying me out, which I'm thankful for free. Thankful for giving me the opportunity to go to the draft and doing all of this, competing with other students, and I just can't wait to do it.
Can I get the Board of Education to come up, please? And Mom and Dad, you want to join us for a Polaroid?
Back to a full.
How about one more round of applause for Luke? Our last guest of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming David King. Come to the front. We've asked Coach King to be here tonight because on Monday, unless you live under a rock, Monday, Dave was announced as Delaware's 2026 Track and Field Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have recognition for you, but before we do that, I'd like to welcome you to say a few words. But before I even do that, I just want to say, I can remember the early years, and it was lean out there, man. It was lean out there. Now you roll 70 deep every year, and bring home championships too, and not just team, individual championships, state championships. People that go and face the meet of meets. What is it? The meet of champions, where we have people going against
not the best in Division II, but the best in the state. And he brought home 2 last year and another this year. So, man, just my hat's off to you. And I'm sure this crowd would like to hear a few words from you.
I did have a speech prepared, but I heard about the dessert in the next room afterwards. So I'll be brief. I'll be very brief. I just want to thank my assistant coaches first and foremost. Their dedication, Zach Osborne, Blair Osborne, Daisy Taylor, Shay Johnson, Mr. Jonathan Kellum, Landon Tripp. We got a great team of coaches, and that's a reflection of our team is a reflection of what those coaches put in every single day and the effort that they give. They're just an outstanding team of 90 kids. You would think that would be hard to manage, but it's the easiest thing in the world, I promise you that. These kids really love what they do, and they show up every day prepared. Not all days are good days, but they show up every day and are prepared to work, and they give each other, we're like one big family. And I know that said a lot in team sports, but it truly is. If you ever have a chance to come to a meet or come out to a practice, please do. Please do. I invite you all right now to come to a practice, come to a meet, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it. I'd like to thank the board members. I'd like to thank Dr. Larimore, and most importantly, I'd like to thank my wife for all her support. Thank you.
We can bring that jacket off.
Do what?
All right, one more round of applause for Coach Dave King.
We have no communication and announcements. We just had that. Public participation, no one is here that has signed up. Superintendent remarks.
Just thanks to everybody who made the 2025-26 school year so effortless at times, and appreciate everybody who helped out with graduation as well as the end of year ceremony. Thanks to all of you.
Okay, any board participation?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. About 14 years ago, Linda came on board here. I was exuberant about that. I was glad to see her. Over a period of time, I think board members should remember that they're representing all the kids, the whole district. And Linda did that. And she did it for 14 years. She also led the board. But what happened is over the years, you go through life, you make a lot of acquaintances and damn few friends. Well, Linda Hitchens is a friend to the district, to me, to the rest of the board members. And I personally really appreciate that. I've been glad to have her. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Well said.
Ms. Esser?
Yes. So I'm not going to say goodbye because she'll be back. She's back. Or at least I hope so. But it's been a joy working under Linda as her vice to the board. I was sharing earlier today with someone how like there probably won't be another Linda. And being the vice and, like I said, working close with her, she was really adamant about sharing things with me. And so that I would be averse to what was happening just as well as the things that she knew I would know. So if at any time, if she was not able to be in her chair, that I could just be there and just keep things flowing. And not everybody would do that. And then there were times we would be, discussing over like articles and things that she would, information she would get, and we'd have phone conversations and about things. And some things she was better knowledgeable about, others I would, and we just would share our knowledge with each other and then bring it back to help to make things better for our district. And I really appreciate her for that. Some people would like kind of, be territorial, and Linda hasn't been that. And I really appreciate, like I said, her for that. Just make, as Brent said, making it about all of our students, all of our staff, not just for some, and which is piggybacks off of the same way that I look at it and being a board member. It's not just for the some, it's for the all. And I try my best as well to, continue, not just because of Linda, that's just how I am as well. So appreciate it, Linda. Like I said, she sometimes I get a little test and she'd say, Sabrina, did you read such a thing? Okay, now tell me da 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 da, and I'd be on point, and then she'd say, okay, like I said, if she had to not be there, I was very capable. And a lot of people don't know the relationship that the both of us have with when it came to our district or about our board. She takes it very seriously, because like I said, she'll be back. But she, takes it very seriously, as well as all the rest of us do too. But I mean, it's just being the president is you have a little bit more to carry on your shoulders, and Linda has done that gracefully. It's not always been an easy road, but it's all been worth it. I'm sure she can attest to that as well. It's been worth it.
It's getting
So-
better and better.
And some days it's just been plain old interesting.
Exactly.
Never a dull moment.
Miss Ralph,
Thank you.
if you want to say anything.
Well, see, now you put me on the spot because, see, I never say anything serious because I wanted to say I wanted to thank Linda for giving birth to Kevin Walmsley, because he was my very, very, very favorite partner the entire time I worked at the middle school. So he made my life successful, and he showed me all the ropes. So I really want to thank you for that, because that's the most important thing that you've done.
Well, thank you.
I also want to thank
No
you.
offense, Kelly.
This was in my world. It was scary going to the middle school. Okay, I was old when I went there, so it was scary. And Kevin was like, "Oh, no." And I could, no. And but I do want to thank you for making sure that we have your telephone number, because that is nice. We can call her anytime we want to, and we all know that if it was left up to me and the finances, Laura, don't listen. We would have no money, okay? Because I'm all about spending it, and I'm not really good about thinking about where it's going to come from. And then Linda looks at me and she's like, "Now, Kim, now how are we going to pay for that?" And I'm like, "Oh." But I think it was because I was an only child. But, we're really going to miss that. But I am so glad that you're not going to be more than a phone call away.
Thank you, Kim.
Nicely said.
And since Kim took all my time, Linda, I would just like to just say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know, I've been on here 5 years maybe. But I've learned a lot from you and leaned on you a lot. Just thank you.
Thank you. And as I told Dr. Larimore, my parting words, don't spend the local money. He's heard that
Yes, ma'am.
50 million times. I even said that to the board. Watch the money. Okay, well, thank you. I've enjoyed, majority of the time I have enjoyed serving on the board. Majority of the time. Okay, reports, monthly financial report, the office tax warrant report, the FY27 preliminary budget. Mrs. Horsey.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I guess that was kind of the introduction to finance.
Right.
Um, so we'll start off with the tax warrant. So this is a summary of our tax rates that I have proposed in the FY27 tax warrant as compared to FY26. I was trying to keep things as even as I could. There is a slight increase. The average taxpayer would see about a $25 increase to the taxes for the year. So just some key points there. Our debt service, which typically decreases, we actually need to increase it a little bit. That's because our collection rate has been a little off this year. We're off about 4%. So since we haven't collected as much as we were anticipating, we're needing to just kind of bump that up just a little bit just to make sure that we have what we need to make our principal and interest payments next year. Also, our tuition tax rate is showing an increase. And of course, that's to adjust the rising costs of our special education services, both to other districts that have the specialty schools and also for the needed staff to help our students that we keep within the district. So our projected tax revenue for FY27 will total a little over 6.8 million. Just wanted to show this. It's still an increase of about $280,000 in total. Our operating expense, of course, just stays the same rate. We're only seeing about $11,000 increase next year. This is because our assessed values, which typically increase about 1.5% each year, have only gone up about 0.5%. Thinking that maybe because of the reassessment, there was a lot of people that probably came back on the back end that filed for the senior tax credit or the farmland preservation or farmland exemption, and that has affected our assessed values a little bit. So we're not seeing as much of an increase as we normally do. For our budget, just a few disclosures so that you know when you're looking at it, that it's based on the presumption that we will receive 90% of the state funds that we've received this past year. That's just a conservative estimate. Division 2 and Division 3 amounts are based on our 9/30/2025 unit count. So we're not projecting forward for 2026. And it also does not account for potential state budget allowances that haven't been approved yet. There is word that there's going to be a proposed elimination of the state reduction. So that would help us about $420,000. So that would help us out a lot. But again, that's not approved yet. And our projected local tax revenue is only based on the FY26 tax warrant because obviously our 27 tax warrant hasn't been approved yet. Our FY26 federal grant award amounts are used because we don't have firm numbers for FY27, and our expenditures are estimated based on FY25 and FY26 actual amounts. These are estimates. And our salary projections include a 5% increase to account for step increases and the assumption that we're fully staffed. So that gives us our preliminary budget with a deficit of 1.3 million. And it's a hard number to swallow, I know. But that's where we are for this coming year. And showing our reserve balances and our current operating balances for this year, for 2026, we're looking at about a $1.4 million deficit, and then we'll have a $1.3 million deficit next year is what the projection is showing. So we'll definitely be dropping into our reserves next year if we don't get a major turnaround or something. So any questions?
I've got two questions real quick. What is the projection left in reserves after the $1.3 million deficit?
So we're down to about 1.7 million at the end of next year.
At the end of next year, down to 1.7?
Yeah.
And can you go back to the slide where you had the debt service? I just want to make sure that we had this correct for everybody who might be out there wondering about it. You said debt service is going to go up a little bit because of uncollected debt service so some people are not paying their taxes, is that right?
So either they haven't been paid, or perhaps they applied for a senior tax credit, or they applied for a difference. Maybe they appealed their assessed value and they got a lower tax bill, but we're still thinking that we're getting the full amount. So there could have been some changes on the assessed value side of things. But we have not collected the revenue that we thought we were going to collect.
So if I'm a layman out there hearing this, I'm hearing my taxes are going to go up for the debt service because other people aren't paying theirs.
Possibly. That could be a reason. It could be because people appealed their assessed values and got it lowered and paid less.
And how much latitude does the school district have to take that service up to a higher number?
We can change the debt service rate to meet our principal and interest payments.
Okay.
Our obligations.
So there's not a negative. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all the questions I have.
Mrs. Horsey, I've got a question.
Yes.
Do you and other financials, financial, what's
Directors.
the rest of your name?
Business managers.
Directors.
Right. Do you ever, I mean, I know you get together, but do you ever talk about approaching the county to start collecting some of these? There's a lot of tax money owed to a lot of school districts. And is anything ever said about as a group?
So not as a group, but as we get our tax revenue monthly from the county,
Right.
and it does include penalties and interest and late payments from prior years. So it's all included in that. So it's just our tax warrant is basically setting the bill for them, and then when the residents pay it, it goes to the county. If they're paying it late, then they have the penalties and interest associated with that. I mean, our tax rate is based on the current year, so we can't.
Do you ever get a list of those that are within the Laurel School District territory?
No.
They don't give you a list. They used to publish that. Yeah.
No, we don't get it.
I mean, I even called them one time and they told me I'd have to file a FOIA to get it.
Yeah, no, I don't have a listing of Laurel School
In
District.
my understanding, this is where I wish someone would get on the county, because my understanding is they are not going to go after that money. Their feeling is that one day that property will be sold and that's when they'll get the tax money and the interest. That they're not. I think we're the only county that doesn't go after it.
I don't know about how their collections are. If I would assume that a majority of the real estate taxes are paid through escrow, through the mortgages.
Right.
So if the mortgage falls behind, and then, if the escrow isn't being made, then I'm sure they're being a sheriff's sale or something.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, FY 26 monthly revenue expenditures and reserve report as submitted. Recommend to approve. First, Mrs. Isler. Second, Mrs. Pugh. Roll call vote. Mrs. Isler.
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh. Mr. Nichols. And Ms. Rao.
Approved.
So approved. Recommend to approve the tax warrant report as submitted. The county property tax rate of 0.31010 on every $100 of assessed value and $24.30 per captation pending any changes to the state's bond bill on July 1, 2026. First, Mr. Nichols. Second, Mrs. Isler. Roll call vote. Mr. Nichols. Mrs. Isler.
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh.
Approved.
And Ms. Rao.
Approved.
So approved. FY 27 preliminary budget. Recommend to approve the FY 27 preliminary budget as submitted. First, Mrs. Pugh. Second, Mrs. Isler. Roll call vote, Mrs. Pugh, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. We have no unfinished business, new business, school choice, none. Fundraisers, approval of fundraisers as a group. First, Mr. Nichols, second, Mrs. Pugh, I believe.
Yeah.
Roll call vote, Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. Recommend approval of fundraiser as submitted.
So moved.
First, Mr. Nichols,
Second.
second, Mrs. Pugh. Roll call vote, Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. Rentals, recommend to approve the request of Brian Daisy, Laurel Boys and Girls Club, for the use of the cafeteria and gymnasium at North Laurel Early Learning Academy from September 2026 to the end of November 2026, Monday through Friday, before school and after school, while their building is being remodeled. Certificate of liability insurance has been provided.
I recommend approval with use of facility fee waived, custodial fee waived, and constable fees waived.
Okay, I have a first by Mrs. Isler, recommend approval with use of facility fee waived, custodial fee waived, and constable fee waived. Second by Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Ms. Ralph,
Approved.
Ms. Ralph and Mrs. Pugh.
Approved.
So approved. Recommend to approve the request of Mary Ray, Thunderstruck Dance Corporation, for use of Laurel High School auditorium on February the 20th or 27th, 2027, from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. to hold a dance competition. Certificate of liability insurance has been provided.
I recommend approval with use of facility fee, custodial fee, and constable fee applied.
Second.
First by Mrs. Isler and second
By Ms. Pugh.
Mrs. Pugh. And that is recommend approval with use of facility fee, custodial fee, and constable fees applied. Mrs. Isler, Mrs. Pugh, roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. Recommend approval with use of facility fee wait a minute, where am I? Let's jump into that. Recommend to approve request of Amy Handy, New Zion United Methodist Church, Operation OWL, for use of Laurel Middle High School Media Center and Fitness Room during June, July, and August 2026 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to host students from the Project RISE program for at-risk males in grades 9 through 12. Certificate of liability insurance provided.
I recommend approval with use of facility fee waived, custodial fee waived, and constable fees waived.
No.
This is applied.
Excuse me, applied.
Okay, recommend approval with use of facility fee waived, custodial fee waived, and constable fees applied. First by Mrs. Isler, second by Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
and Ms. Rao.
Approved.
So approved. Recommend the approval request of
Shrey Patel.
Ray Patel, owner of Bryan's Bowling Center, for use of Laurel Middle High School parking lot, July 4th, 2026, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. to use as overflow parking for the July 4th celebration. Mr. Patel has scheduled 2 police officers from the town to assist during the celebration. Certificate of liability insurance provided.
I recommend approval with use of facility fee waived, custodial fee waived, and constable fees applied.
As first by Mrs. Isler, she's recommended approval with the use of facility fee waived, custodial fee waived, and constable fees applied. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. Okay, I have the request of Amy Handy, Laurel High School Teacher Academy Advisor, to travel with 4 students and 1 teacher to the Oregon Convention Center in Portland, Oregon on Friday, June 19th and return Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. Trip is paid from student families, fundraising, and donations. Purpose of trip is to attend the Educators Rising National Convention. Recommend approval of professional trip as, well, it's not a group, as submitted.
So moved.
First, Mrs. Isler, second, Mrs. Pugh, Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
and Mrs. Ralph.
Approved.
So approved. This is just information. The 2026-2027 graduation date has been changed on the calendar. It has been moved from June 3rd, 2027 to May 27th, 2027. Okay, no items for presentation, possible action on executive session items. Attachment A, professional, recommend to approve the personnel report with recommendations as discussed in executive session as listed in attachment A.
So moved.
First, Mr. Nichols.
Second.
Second, Mrs. Isler. Roll call vote, Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh, and Ms. Rao.
Approved.
So approved. Personnel attachment B, support staff, recommend to approve the personnel report with recommendations as discussed in executive session as listed in attachment B.
So moved.
First, Mrs. Isler.
Second.
Second, Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler.
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
and Ms. Rao.
Approved.
So approved. Personnel attachment C, cafeteria, recommend to approve the personnel report with recommendations as discussed in executive session as listed in attachment C. First, Mrs. Pugh.
Second.
Second, Mrs. Isler. Roll call vote, Mrs. Pugh, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
and Ms. Rao.
Approved.
So approved. Personnel attachment D, coaches, recommend to approve the personnel report with recommendations as discussed in executive session as listed in attachment D.
So moved.
First, Mrs. Isler. Second, Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh, and Ms. Rao.
Approved.
So approved. Okay, future agenda items. The reorganization board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, July 1st, 5:30 p.m., Laurel Middle High School Cafe. The regular board meeting scheduled for Wednesday, August the 12th at 7 p.m., Laurel Middle High School Cafe. But I also know in between that time, July and August, there's going to be another special meeting that will be called, and that'll be posted. And for the last time, this time, I have a motion, we adjourn.
So moved.
First,
Second.
Mrs. Isler, second, Mr. Nichols. Roll call vote, Mrs. Isler,
Approved.
Mr. Nichols,
Approved.
Mrs. Pugh,
Approved.
and Ms. Ralph.
Approved.
We adjourn at 7:48 p.m.
Thank you.
All right.